After a foray last week into Farrell, I'm back to reading stitches again, and I was going to do lace, and I am still going to do lace, but first we need to talk about decreases and how they're used in lace. This is a gauge swatch I did for a pair of socks that I was knitting, and I wanted to see the difference between double decreases and how they would look. And I wanted the socks to be little pyramids or triangles or whatever, and there are a couple of ways to do that. And in this case, I used a decrease, a double decrease, where the center stitch is on top. You decrease 2 stitches on either side, and the center stitch is on top. And that is, you slip 2 stitches as if you're going to knit them together, and then you knit a stitch, and then you pass the 2 slip stitches over the top, and that is the effect you get. Now on this side you have another double decrease, but in this instance the stitch to the right is on top of the center and the stitch to the left, and it leaves this kind of overlapping appearance. And to work it, you slip 1 stitch as if you're going to knit it, you knit the next 2 stitches together, and then you pass the slip stitch over the top. And next week when I talk about lace, we'll talk about yarn overs and how decreases go. Now this is another version of the same swatch, but in the swatch above, the triangle was created by decreasing 2 stitches on either side of the center stitch. In this case, there are decreases on either side. Now, in this case, notice that the decreases are not as visible. In this one, you have the decreases on either side of the triangle that are visible, and the stitches in the top, the stitches in the center seem to come under the decreases. Now, to get this effect, I've done a SSK on one side and a knit 2 together on the other side, and that creates these lines going up the side. And because I've used this decrease where I have stitches that are creating this optical effect, I have used the slip 1 knit 2 together decrease where I have this stitch on top. Now in this case up here, which is different, I have used a knit 2 together on one side and an SSK on the other, and notice in this case I do not get those lines, and the decrease that I have used on the top is the one where the center stitch is on top. And how you use your decreases when you're knitting lace is what's going to give you these effects. If I want to outline a leaf, for example, I would use this placement. If I want kind of invisible shaping, I would use this one. And next week we will talk more about lace and the placing of the yarn overs and how to read it.